So this time we have the Flash, Arrow universe, DC universe in a time travel, kind of like Justice League show. Okay. Legends of Tomorrow. Alright, so Legends of Tomorrow is the third spin-off of the original Arrow show. Now what's cool about the Arrow universe, the Arrow Flash, is the first season of Arrow came out. It's been 4 years since pretty much the first season of Arrow. And in season 2 of Arrow, they introduced Flash. And when you introduce Flash, because Arrow was pretty much just this show about a guy, he has a vendetta, he's trying to save a city. Then season 2, you introduce this kind of miracle drug that makes people kind of like Captain America. Then you introduce Flash, and the Flash you introduce like metahumans, people with special powers. In the Flash you introduce time travel, and that's what the main premise of this new show is. It's called Legends of Tomorrow. Now what Legends of Tomorrow is pretty much Rip Hunter. He's played by the actor who played Rory in Doctor Who. I believe the actor's name is Arthur Darvill. And what he is, he's part of like the Time Guild or the Time Masters or the Time Lords. I'm calling them the Time Lords. So Rip Hunter, he wants to stop Vandal Savage. Vandal Savage was a villain who showed up in the last Arrow Flash crossover episode. He's an immortal. And Rip Hunter, he wants to stop him. So he gets a bunch of these heroes. He gets a bunch of these heroes who are really, they're not the biggest heroes, so they're like really no-name heroes. He can't recruit the heroes like Arrow and Flash because they make too much of a name for himself. He gets heroes that really, they're not going to be missed if they go away for a little bit. So let's go over these characters that are in the show. First off, we have Sarah Lance playing the White Canary. Now Sarah Lance, she was introduced in season 2 of Arrow. She was really in season 1. You find out that she was on the island with Oliver, and you get some really cool stuff. She dies and then she comes back to life. I don't want to spoil anything if you haven't seen Arrow, so I won't say any more of that. But pretty much, I really like Katie Lotz as this character. I think she really knows how to play it. She's a really good actress. She was really good in Mad Men. I'm curious to see how she continues playing this character. The next character you have is Ray Palmer. Ray Palmer portrays the Atom. Now, one day you have Brandon Routh. Brandon Routh, he plays Superman in the Superman Returns movie, which is not that great. But he's a good actor, and I think he's proven it as playing the Atom. The Atom, he's pretty much like Ant-Man. He's pretty much Ant-Man meets Iron Man. That's really much what you need to know. But really, you can just tell he's the good guy. He's the guy, he wants to make a name for himself. Because he died, and you find out something bad happens to him in season 3 of Arrow. And he comes back, but he goes missing for a little bit, and he realizes that none of it really mattered. Nothing really changed after his dying. Then you have Firestorm. Firestorm, you have Professor Stein, who he was in the first season of Flash. And then you also had a other character who becomes his dual partner. Firestorm is pretty much 2 people in one. So it's pretty much the Fusion Hall from Dragon Ball Z. Then you have Hawkman and Hawkgirl. What's cool about these 2 characters is they're reincarnations of a life that lived back in Egypt. They have a really bad nemesis with Vandal Savage because all 3 of them are really connected together. Of course, my favorite characters is probably Captain Code and Heatwave. Now, I really like Captain Code in The Flash. I think he's one of the best parts of the entire show. Captain Code, he's just hilarious. He has some of these great one-liners. There's one villain who I was like, that guy, because they made a bunch of Star Wars jokes, which was pretty funny. Like at the beginning, you see the guy, he says, it's like, who's this? He's like, holy crap, it's Darth Vader. And then Captain Code, you hear him say, we're gone for 1 second. And we're being attacked by Boba Fett. That was a great quote. Overall, this pilot of Legends of Tomorrow was really interesting. I'm curious to see how the show progresses. If I'm going to give the pilot a grade of it starting out, I'm going to give it a B+. I really enjoyed the episode. If you like Arrow and Flash, I recommend checking this out. Even if you don't watch Arrow and Flash, I believe you can watch this show and you would not be confused one bit. Because it doesn't really affect the events of Arrow and Flash, because we're going to be throughout all time and space, which is pretty cool. So the Legends of Tomorrow pilot. Have you seen it? What are your thoughts? Comment below, let me know. And guys, if you like this video, click that like button and subscribe to see more. All too easy.